Welcome to another edition of the Go Noles Podcast. I'm your host, Gregory McCoy. This podcast is by a fan for fans. I am not a journalist. I am not a reporter. I am not an insider. I do not work for a website. The majority of my content comes from me, in my opinion. Other information comes from the internet. Big win, man. Tremendous win. This team is focused. They were not looking ahead to Wake Forest, a ranked opponent. And you have to give Mike Norvell credit for that. I think he, overall has done a tremendous job. Some of his in-game decisions I don't like. Some of his personnel decisions I don't like. Some of his play calling I don't like. But, that's just me being a fan. If you've been listening to this podcast for the first couple of weeks throughout the season, I made the call to move Sam McCall off of kickoff return. They put Benson back there, and look what you get. First play of the game, run back for a touchdown. So I know a little something, okay? They got Cam McDonald involved. You see this man is shifty. He can run routes. He's got tremendous hands. He's got speed. And, again, you need to incorporate him more. I like the way that they're using their receivers. They're not focusing in on one guy. They're spreading the ball around. Darius Washington played pretty good. He filled in at left tackle for Robert Scott. Overall, it was just a tremendous win. They didn't let Zay Flowers, expose them. And, I think over the next 3 weeks, you're going to really find out what this Florida State team is all about. I think the two winnable games, I think you can win all three of these games. I think if the Florida State team that we have seen through the first 4 weeks shows up, they're going to be highly competitive in these games. But to go 3-0 in this stretch of games, they have to take it to another level that we haven't seen since, the national championship year. That's the level, and maybe even beyond that, because I'm not going to say that any of those teams are unbeatable, but they're probably the best teams in the ACC right now. Maybe Pitt is the best team in the Coastal, but, you're playing three division opponents that are very good. I think Wake Forest played a very close game with Clemson. I don't see them falling out of the top 25. I think they'll be right at 25 because of the Miami loss. And Miami, wow. Middle Tennessee State, wow. I mean, their quarterback threw for 405 yards on y'all. But Miami's back. All right, if you say so. Florida lost also. So, hey, man, not a bad weekend. But, yeah, I think the defense played better against the run. Granted that Boston College, like I said earlier in the week, has a big offensive line, but they're young. They're playing a lot of young guys on both sides. So, great win. We gave up a couple of garbage touchdowns in the end, but it is what it is. But, we got Wake Forest coming up. And if you watch that Clemson-Wake Forest game, man, Wake Forest is a really, really, really good team. And, I think Jordan Travis is better than Uiagalelei, if I'm saying his name right. I feel like Jordan Travis is a better quarterback than him. I think Jordan Travis can do more things. I feel like our secondary is better than Clemson's. I think Clemson has a better defensive line than we do. I think our linebackers are better than Clemson. So I think we can beat Wake Forest. My strategy against that little read option mesh play action thing that they do is just let them run the football. Okay? The dangerous part of it is when the linebackers freeze and they let the tight end or the receiver get behind them. I would just play pass and just trust my defensive line to stop the run. I would just play pass. I wouldn't even, you know what I'm saying? I would let them run it all day long. I could live with that. But what you don't want to do is give up the bombs to those receivers that Wake Forest has. And they have some very, very good receivers. And you just gotta like the program that their head coach has built up in Winston-Salem. I mean, it's hard to get talent to come there. But I think in this day and age with the transfer portal and guys wanting to play, hey, guys are tired of sitting, man. So, that Wake Forest played a hell of a game. They just ran out of gas at the end. I mean, 51-45. I watched that whole game. I got up early to watch that game, and just because I know those are two of our opponents coming down this stretch. Man, if we can get through this stretch right here, I don't think there's anybody left on this schedule that can beat us. I really don't. After 4 games before the season started, after 4 games, I had us at 2-2. I'm just going to be honest about it. I had us at 2-2. I had a win over Duquesne, and I had this win over Boston College. I did not have us beating Louisville or LSU. So to be sitting at 4-0 at this point, we're playing with house money. And, I think we can go 3-0 in this stretch. I really feel like we can. We're going to have to play out of our minds. Okay? The offensive line, I mean, we've lost some key players on the defensive line. If we had all our horses and if we had all our guys, I would definitely say, okay, we got a chance. But even without those guys, I think we've got a tremendous shot at winning all these games. But like I said, over the next 3 weeks, you're going to really find out what this Florida State team is all about. We got Wake Forest coming to us. We go to Raleigh, and then we got Clemson at home. And Clemson does not look unbeatable. Their secondary is suspect. Okay? It's going to be hard to run the football against Clemson. They have very good linebackers. They have a very good defensive line. So it's going to be very hard to run the football. Benson is a beast, man. I mean, his break tackle percentage, if the old college football game, he would at least be above 90. Because he just make guys just bounce off of him. So, Deloach, like I said, sideline to sideline, I think he's one of the best linebackers in the country, man. Bethune, great tackler. Secondary played pretty good. Just a better performance this week versus last week. So I would just hope that we got embarrassed against Wake Forest last year. We got embarrassed. So if nothing, you have to come out here and play for pride, and get this win, man. It's just a tremendous feeling to be 4-0. I'm not gonna lie to you, and it like I said the other week, man. It's like a brand new feeling. It's a brand new feeling to be back at this stage of the game. I don't know if we're going to get ranked this week. I don't think there's any way they can keep us out of the rankings. I really don't feel like there's any way they can keep us out of the rankings. I know they want to, but I think we'll come in at like number 21 21 or 22. They're not going to put us inside 20. So whatever. I mean, if we take care of business the next 3 weeks, we're going to be right where we want to be. And if we win the next 3 games, man, I think you can realistically talk ACC championship. If we win the next 3 games, I think you can realistically talk ACC championship. So it's really going to be on Norvell to get these guys ready to go, man. And like I said, through the first 4 weeks, he's done a tremendous job. So I can't hate on him. So we going to see what happened next week, man. I hope you enjoyed this instant reaction. Another impressive win by the Noles. Podcast available on YouTube, all podcast platforms. And as always, go Noles.